Jamie Carragher actually made a good point. He said the best player in Germany is probably Harry Kane.
Yeah.
The best player in Spain is Jude Bellingham.
Yeah.
The best player in England is Phil Foden.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to Lose to Win, the podcast. Myself, Jack, Josh, and Ben. We are fit and ready to go, boys. How is everybody doing?
Very good, thank you.
That was a real awkward pause.
Yeah. maybe
Well, for you.
not then.
That's because I haven't been here for 2 weeks, lads. Because I haven't been here for 2 weeks. I'm a little bit rusty.
Yeah.
I'm good, mate. I'm really good. Good to be back. Sorry I wasn't here. I missed you, boys.
Yeah, we missed you, mate. We did miss you, and your absence was definitely felt. And
Bless you.
great to have you back, mate. Talking about being rusty, I made the fatal mistake of playing football Monday night and then 2 sessions last night, and I was literally just a passenger last night by the end of it, and the rain didn't help either. It was awful.
Doesn't take long, does it? Doesn't take long.
I might not do that again.
Yeah,
Take it
I
a
was
bit
silly.
easier.
I went to FC Bournemouth for the earlier session. Yeah, and about by halfway through the second one, it's completely
What, on
dead.
Tuesday?
Yeah, yesterday.
Just becomes
Mate.
walking football, doesn't it?
I don't know how you
Yeah.
boys do it. I can't. On Friday night, mate, I can't
Well-
walk till Tuesday.
Yeah,
That's it,
I'm
mate.
getting used to it. To be fair, like when
Yeah.
I did those 2 sessions on the Sunday. I did that 11s and then went to another one. Okay,
Yeah, that's
to be
mad.
fair, they didn't actually have a game for us on, but like even so,
You were there ready for it.
I literally
Yeah.
couldn't walk after the 11s.
Oh, 11's always kills me. It's a different kettle of fish, isn't it?
Oh, my days.
Yeah.
The pitch is
It's
so
so much-
big.
So much running just like without.
Yeah.
I mean, I always wonder about this. How much actual running you do without touching the ball must be
Lots.
insane.
Yeah.
I didn't actually check. I need to check my stats on my watch, but yeah, I ran quite a distance, I think.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But getting back to your
Okay.
original question, mate, I've had a good week. I've had a good few weeks, actually, I think. Consistently losing weight again, which is good. Not huge amounts, but like we said before, that little, sort of 300, 400, 500 grams a week, which
Yeah.
is good, which is, how I want to do it going forward. So I'm pleased. I think I've ended this season about 4.5 kilos lighter than I started it. So
Amazing.
happy days. Yeah,
Well done,
really
mate.
pleased.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Very good.
quite pleased with that.
Good effort, mate. What about yourself, Josh? How are you feeling?
Yeah, feeling good. Feeling a little like I'm busy. Don't get me wrong, I'm busy, but it's only because I've just got my
Yeah.
mind on some of the other things. Not fit. Like I wouldn't say I'm like really physically busy, like getting around and stuff, but just my mind's on so many things
Yeah.
with the new
I feel
teams
that.
and all, and just like my work,
Vegas.
new teams, and Man v Fat. Yeah, I've got
Yeah,
things that to
Vegas
think
is
about as
coming.
well. So yeah, looking forward to that. I'll tell you. Oh,
Are you playing some poker out there,
can't
Josh?
wait. Yeah, I'll be playing. quite a lot, I think.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah.
Cash tables,
Not
or
as
was it
much as
organised
last time.
tournament? What's the
I'll
vibe?
be playing cash tables a lot because
that's dangerous, isn't it? Cash tables.
No, that's where all the
quick,
that's
that's
all
quick wins, mate.
that's quick money. That's where all the
Yeah.
people with more money than sense play.
So you
Really?
pick up your wins, yeah.
Yeah, and then tournaments. I haven't got my eye on anything specific, but because the World Series of Poker is on at that time, I will have a look at the schedule and find out if
Nice.
it's something I want to play.
Get yourself in there. You might end up on TV.
Oh yeah, it
Who you
depends. I've
going
got to
with,
make
Josh?
it all the way through. A couple of mates of mine who I've known since uni days. So
Cool.
yeah.
And is it
they're
a
all big
poker trip, or was
fans
it
as well.
just
Yeah, they play a lot of poker themselves, more than I do actually nowadays. So
nice?
yeah, I'm decided though this time I'm going to get out and do stuff. I'm not going to stay in Vegas the whole time. I'm going to go to LA and might fly to San Francisco for a day and things like this.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
That's another
Anyway,
thing. When the dust settles to organise, I think we could probably organise a Man v Fat poker evening. I reckon there's a few of us that won't mind
I'm
giving you some money.
surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised that's not come up actually.
Well, it probably has, but nobody's invited Josh because he's going to shark us all. He's going to be the player nobody's going to want to play with.
I haven't played poker for years. I used to play quite a lot back in the day. I haven't played for years.
I do enjoy it.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it's good fun with the lads around the table, isn't it? If you know,
Yeah,
especially if
definitely.
you're not really,
Not
if
need
you're
to
quite new
take
to
it
it.
too
so-
seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Right.
but in
Shall
terms
we
of
jump
other
into
things, I
jump into your
Yeah.
roundup, Josh?
was about to say, I was about first thing to start with you guys, purples, isn't it? Because you had an impressive display both on and off the pitch this last week. And if you couple that with a rare slip from the greens this last week,
Yes.
has shifted the balance of power in the title race going into the final week of the season.
Finally poised.
Something else that, I was going to say, was something else that's finally was shifted as well is the weight, which is a good thing. 20.2 kilos of it this last
That's
week.
good. That's really
Putting
good.
our collective total for the season onto 258.7
Wow.
kilos. So we
Well
need
done,
another
lads.
16. Yeah, very well done. Another 16.3 to reach 275 for
That'd be
the
nice.
season.
That would be nice. Yeah, that's great.
Or 17.3 for a historic 6 Kylie season.
That's achievable, I reckon.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we
It is
lost
difficult week.
20.2.
Last week. Though,
Yeah, I know.
It's a difficult one.
I think
Because
it
you'll have
will
people
help.
who.
There's
There's a lot to play for. There's a lot to play for. There's
Yeah.
a lot of teams still in with a chance of getting something. So I think that will help definitely.
Yeah, definitely. I think also it helps that the new season's we go straight into new season.
Yeah.
There isn't that friendly week as well. Or maybe that I'm hoping that helps at least. So
yeah, I think it will.
So go from there. 41.3 kilos, by the way, is to break the 300 barrier, but I think
don't think we'll get there yet.
Optimistic, I think I'll say.
Yeah.
Might be asking too much, but we've lost that much in a single week before now, so who knows? I guess.
Nice.
Who knows on that one. The results then. So us Blacks lost to your Blues, Ben, 12-5 overall.
You did. Sorry, mate.
That's all right. The Reds won 13-7 against the Yellows.
Very good.
The Greens lost 11-10 to the Oranges.
So
close. Shock of the night.
I know.
And Purples, you Purples rolled on with 14-6 victory over the Whites.
No, a good win,
the
mate.
most eye-catching scoreline, as you said, by the way, is the Oranges' narrow victory over the Greens, with hat-tricks the decisive factor after a 1-1 pitch draw.
Wow.
So Oranges had 4 to Greens' 2 on that one.
Yeah.
That's the kicker.
Asian Neil Patrick. He sent me a picture of him in a purple. He said honorary. I'm just trying to find it out. Honorary purple, because I think the wonderful wacky weirdos from Las Vegas, funny enough, that run AFC Bournemouth now put on purple shirts for everybody to wear in the crowd for some unbeknown reason. And yeah, looking at the picture now, honorary purple for the day, and I was like, yeah, I did compliment how slim and how well he looked in it, but also he certainly became our undercover purple, which was ideal.
That's mad.
Elsewhere, as we mentioned, by the way, the Blues, Reds, and the Purples also enjoyed more comfortable margins than the Oranges did, all seeing pitch wins successfully converted to overall victories. All this means that we go into the final stretch of the season, or the final week, with your Blues needing to avoid defeat to secure your 3rd successive pitch title.
In a row.
Very impressive.
And the Purples needing the same. Yeah, rough. Yeah, right. Fortunately, it's not light enough blue at the moment. That one. So, the Purples, by the way, needing the same to clinch their first main league title. So
it's going to be real interesting last week, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's in your hands.
We are chasing the pitch league as well. It's
you are.
It's
only goal difference. If we slip up and you win, yours.
Yeah. Well, no, sorry, no Scales. We're looking at. Sorry, I'm correct myself. We're after the Scales League. So there's a 6-goal swing needed in our favour for us to overtake.
You could take all 3 on the last game of the season. Imagine that.
Yeah. Who are you playing?
Yeah,
Ben?
I mean,
Reds. Difficult game.
It is. It's a great team, especially if Jogs turns up again as well, and Micah and Robbo, and what a team! Adam,
good team,
Greg,
really good team.
A lot of them, yeah.
James.
Yeah,
they were good. They were a good bunch.
Well, yeah.
So we'll have a work cut out, definitely. And it's the death game. It's the last 10 o'clocker that we'll ever have.
Oh, I might have to stay around and
cheer on the Reds.
Issue, yeah. offering out pints at the awards night for anybody that scores the winner.
No, well, I've already done that to Jimbo. I've offered them all. I've offered them all awards, and Jogs is now purple, so he's on my side.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Awesome. So yeah, it's nice for it to be this tight, with one game going into it.
Yeah, really good. I think it's been a really good season. And do you know what? I have to say, I'm absolutely amazed at how the Greens have performed, because having been in the position of trying to carry on the second season on weight loss, especially because they are top of the weight loss league, and to be fair, if it's up to them, it's in their hands if they can clinch it for a second season. I mean, that's some effort that is for them lads. If they do end up winning back-to-back weight loss seasons, I think you've got to take your hat off to them boys, because that is a phenomenal effort from all of those guys.
Yeah, that's the big one, isn't it? Being able to do
really,
that back-to-back.
really.
I don't think I've seen that before.
No, it's never happened.
Not in any of them actually.
We came close in the red when we were Reds. We came close.
Yeah, we did.
The second, I think it went to the last game and we ended up losing it. It might have been the last two games anyway. We were close, but we never managed it. And it's not been done before in our league. So, if they do that, that's a massive monumental achievement, and they'll have to have some real plaudits for that, because that's quite incredible.
Definitely.
Yeah, as you said, that scales thing is harder to predict, isn't it? So, but the Greens did slip this last week, allowing your Purples, by the way, to move level on points for the single game to play. As you said, 6-goal swing. So still everything to play for on that one.
And they can't score any more hat tricks. They've burnt all their hat tricks, didn't they?
So it could be a 6-goal swing or they lose, really, couldn't they? Because we'll move on to 22.
Yeah.
So if they lose off the scales.
You just got to win, mate. You just got to do the do. Yeah.
You just have to better their result, basically. Yeah. Yes. 2 players dropped out of last man standing, leaving us with a tantalising 11 remaining, just one short of the bonus goal bonanza. But Steve did say goals will definitely be awarded to survivors for the last week, whether or not
really
the final 10. Yes.
Now that's going to be a big. Right. That's going to be a big one. That's going to make quite a difference. That I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see. I don't know who's got how many players. So
I think we've got 3.
I think we've only got 1 now.
Yeah.
I think Greens have got a couple.
Yeah.
Luke,
Greens
Jordan, and Tomo.
I know I'm still in for us, but obviously we.
Well done, mate. By the way,
that's amazing. Oh yeah, we've still got. I haven't got lots to. Yeah, but 2 of them were like 0.1 and 0.2. So
that's all right, mate. You said you wanted to be there at the end, and there you are. I remember you very distinctly at the beginning of the season. You got disappointed because you went out of last man standing, and then Steve gave a reprieve for the second week because there were a lot of people that couldn't make it the first week, and that put you back in, and you've done it ever since then, mate. So well done, because I know you really wanted to get there. So fair play, buddy.
Yeah, well done, mate.
So we're there. We'll be there. I was going to say hat tricks were aplenty, as we mentioned this last week. 20 across the league. Yeah. Ryan Broadbank enjoyed this week's only milestone, with his 5% coming in short order since he's rejoined the league just over.
Well done, mate. Yeah, well done.
Great work to Ryan.
Really good, mate.
Keep it going, mate. Yeah, and he joins your Blues next season, doesn't he, Jack? So
he does. Yeah, looking forward to playing with him.
Yeah. Micah leads the team of the week with an impressive 2.7 kilos lost.
Wow.
Matt Waterman is the only player to keep his place from last week with another huge drop of 2.1 kilos.
New Super Purple.
Yeah, that's 4 kilos Matt has lost in just 2 weeks.
Go on, Matt. Good lad.
Whichever team gets him in the reshuffle, by the way, which I guess was yourself now, which
that's me
realised in reading last, has a potential scales goal scorer on your hands.
Good lad.
So the full list anyway. So we've got Mike at the top with 2.7, then Matt Waterman with 2.1, Luke Hayter with 1.8. Which I'm kind of astounded considering he was on a stag do, but he came in with all guns blazing into the weight room.
He did. Whilst we were all hanging, he was off for a walk, mate. I heard the door go and I was like, who the fuck's left the house? And somebody said, Luke's gone for a walk. I was like, of course he has. And I just went back to sleep.
Commitment, mate. Commitment.
Yeah, I love it.
Gareth Tensby with 1.8 as well. Tom Marks with 1.6.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Steve Nodwell with 1.5 and George Howe with 1.4. So
Very good.
impressive
Very
strength in
good.
depth this week.
Yeah, really good.
5 players were all just 100 grams short of tying George for 7th as well. So
Wow.
5 with 1.3. So there's one more week left, lads.
We are
That's
very
it.
close in terms of the top losers and the top scorers as well, aren't we? On the scales, that's awfully close. There's some serious goals to be scored this week if people were able to do what they need to do. I know that Luke and Alex are battling away between them for weight loss. That's going to be really close, and we've got obviously the maintenance boys, Dave and Ryan, leading the way at the moment in terms of their actual weight score, but they can be eclipsed by anybody that might have a
cheeky milestone up the sleeve.
Milestone up the sleeve. Exactly what I was going to say. Yeah. So there's a chance that could happen as well. So
who could that possibly be?
Play for.
Who could that possibly be?
Lukey H is definitely going for something, but it's a hell of a feat if he does it. I think I'm probably more confident than he is. Sat here Wednesday evening at 9:15. I think
he's in the sauna, isn't he?
I'd be surprised. He can't last in the sauna he can't last in the sauna for 2 minutes, mate. He's done it all without saunas. He tried once, and honestly, he's like, thankfully he didn't pay for it. He was a member, because he would have been fuming. It was like £6.50 or something, whatever it is. He lasted 2 minutes. He's like, saunas aren't for gingers. And off he went. Saw him 20 minutes later or whatever it was. He did crap me up. Fair play to him.
So, as you say, I mean, that top score is 17, by the way, each.
It's going to be
top of Dave and Ryan. Yeah.
Sorry, Ollie's up there as well. It's all to play for. So let's see. Good luck to everybody. Good luck to all the teams involved, and good luck to everybody that's pushing for that final push. It's great to see the chances, like 4 or 5 different people, maybe even up to 6 people that could still win both the top scorer and the top loser, which is super impressive.
Yeah, definitely. Love it.
Very. Well, one thing I've just noted though, Jack, is if Luke doesn't hit it this week, first week of the new season.
That's it. He's in.
I know.
He's a goal every week.
Yeah. I know he won't even be considering not getting there this week, knowing what he's like. But
no, he definitely won't.
Just on the off chance that he doesn't.
I feel sorry for whoever we play week one if he doesn't do it, because he's going to.
He'll get his percentage as well.
BMI.
Yeah. So he'll get 6 points.
Be,
bloody not. That better not be us. Jesus.
That better not be us.
Well, I'm there week 1, and if I don't hit my milestone this week, it'll be that week. I'll tell you. So.
Yeah. That supercomputer is going to throw out some interesting results, fixtures, isn't it? We're moving to 8 o'clock as well, aren't we? As of next week.
Yeah.
First game will be 8 o'clock.
So,
don't anybody forget that. That'd be embarrassing to forget that and be late for the first game and miss it. That'd be
well, I bet you there'll be a fixture gate again. Someone will get an 8 and 8:30 only games all season.
Of course they will. There has to be. There has to be, because of the way that it generates.
Champions in it.
I wonder who it's going to be.
Always. I think Yellow's had it this season, didn't they? No one even mentioned that at the beginning. Of the
but that you know what that tells me. That tells me I definitely won't be within that next season, because I'm on the Yellows. So assuming
good
generation is
so it won't be Blues either,
team,
because Blues have had
and everyone's changing teams.
That's me out of it then.
Yep, sorry,
most recent. So Blues, Yellows.
Oh, it's going to be Purples again.
Most recent.
Oh God.
Ben's ready for the barrage of abuse.
Yeah, just send it my way, lads. I'm used to it.
He'll be home by 9 o'clock with his cottage cheese and wine.
Cottage cheese and corn cakes. A nice drop of Shiraz. Happy days.
Love it.
Anyway,
awesome.
That's it for the roundup then, mate. New teams, lads. Just a quick one on that.
I think we've hinted it enough now, haven't we? There's lots to look forward to in it. It's I think everybody was rigid with excitement waiting for that message, that video to come through, and see who we've all got.
I quite liked the new format of release, although I did have to go back and then screenshot all the teams, because I couldn't for the life of me remember who was in what.
Absolutely.
See, that's the bonus of me. You see, I just have it all written out already on a sheet. So I already had it.
Well, you knew it ago. Exactly.
Yeah.
I was driving, so I had to pull over in a bus stop to have a look.
Oh, mate. It's not the best day to do it, to be fair. I was incredibly busy, so it was quite put a bit of a spanner in the works for my day. But But it was good. It was good. I enjoyed it, and yeah, and I'm assuming everyone's happy. I think the reaction that I've had, certainly speaking with the lads, has been good. I think everyone's quite happy and quite keen to get going. And I know quite a few people have set up temporary groups until the other groups get set up, and they've been chatting to their new teams and stuff. So
it's a good idea.
Yeah, I think because of the tight turnaround, I think it was quite a good shout to do that, really.
Well, it's almost necessary,
I don't know if you, I don't know if you noticed, but Steve very kindly kept the three of us together. I don't know if anybody's noticed. I haven't been messaged 17 times and spoken to at football about it about 30 times so far already. Steve did allow us three to stay together. It's very kind of him. It took some persuasion, but there's genuine reason behind it that is genuine, and it is what it is, I think. And it's very kind.
I don't think it's unfair though. I don't think it's unfair though. That's the thing, is that if you can find a fair way to do it, there's no reason why it couldn't happen. So
yeah,
it's just that's how it is.
Yeah.
I think we should compliment Steve on this. I think Steve's done a really good job in terms of keeping it pretty fair and even across the league. I don't think there's anything.
I would say so. I think the teams, the teams are all quite well balanced, don't they? I think there's a good mix of new and old. So you sort of the older stalwarts that have been around for a long time, and then you've got some new blood in there, some good young players and older players. I think it looks good. I think all the teams look pretty strong, to be honest. I think I panicked a little bit when I looked at all of them. I was like, bloody hell, they all look really strong. So I think it'll be interesting.
That's just testament to the quality of the league, though, isn't it? It's
definitely. Definitely. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Just as a little caveat to it, anybody that listens that isn't involved with Man v Fat, each 3 seasons we have a rotation of teams to keep things fresh and keep it competitive, and kind of get rid of any clicks or monotony or anything that might kind of fall into place when you stick with the same team forever. Tribalism, a bit of fuck the purples, everything like that. So it is certainly something that's it's well accepted, especially amongst the more seasoned players that have been there, done that, and seen it. It's something that we all feared to start with, but it is it's definitely for good. And anybody new that might be feeling that, please don't worry about it. You've got more than capable captains looking after you, and any questions I'm sure you can go to Josh and Steve with anyway. So it's definitely worth mentioning. Anybody that might be outside of the organisation, I know my next door neighbour Danny, shout out Danny, she listens when she's taking the baby for a walk and trying to get him to sleep, so she'll probably be wondering. We cross up each other's paths. She goes, "What's last man standing mean?" And I keep forgetting that she listens. I was like, amazing that you're still listening, I love it. But she's like, what's this mean? What does this mean? So no doubt she'd probably ask at some point. So that's the idea behind it, and it Steve has his own spin on it and has certainly done us all well this time round. And I don't think I would out anybody for complaining about it anyway, but genuinely not a single murmur from anybody. And as I said, I've had 17 messages about me and the brothers set together. That conversation obviously carried on to me go, how would you think your team is and how would you feel? And every single one of them is positive, which is testament to the hard work that Steve and obviously the team behind him with you, Liam and Dan, have put in to make it work. So well done.
Yeah.
Oh,
definitely.
Yeah.
A few notable names missing, though, I would say. There's a few people who have sadly had to bow out for whatever reasons, whether it be personal reasons or they've finished their journey or whatever. And they will be missed. Definitely will be missed, and hopefully they will return. I won't name check them all because I think some are attending the awards on Saturday evening, so I think they might be name checked there. So
a couple of them do and look like they will continue with the extracurricular activity that we do in terms of the Tuesdays and Thursdays as well, which is really good. Nobody is ever left out of that for any reason at all. You do have to have a very fast finger to get in any of it, I must admit, but nobody will be left out of that if they're not part of the club at all. So please stick around, guys. You are loved and welcome at any point.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So there we are, and we'll look forward to a new season starting next week. As I mentioned, you guys, I'm there week 1 and then not there week 2 and 3. So
You'll be out of last
Which,
man
and
standing
funnily enough,
straight away, lad.
this would be the first time. I better message them, by the way, before we put this out, just to make sure they know before we release this. Now I've told them, just to remind them that I'm not there.
Setting a good example straight away as a captain, Josh.
Yeah,
Love that
terrible,
from you, mate.
terrible. Back as a
we
captain, and then not there for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
but we have a full team of excellent VC choices. So
have you picked one?
whoever
Have you got
takes
one
it
yet?
on for a couple of weeks. No, that's one thing we haven't done yet. So
I put the message out earlier, the feelers out earlier, and I'm waiting to hear. I've had one private response. I'm waiting to see who else might step up. But yeah, I think, like you say, I've got a team full of people that would be comfortable, and I'd be more than happy to have by my side.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Well, that's it for the Man v Fat stuff. Unless there's anything specific you guys want to chat about, do we want to just a quick reminder of our awards this weekend?
I think so. I think it's important.
Yeah,
as of the release of this, it will be tomorrow essentially, tomorrow night, the Saturday 25th. So we're at the Bournemouth Electric Club. What time did you guys say it was? Oh my God, why is my memory?
It starts at 8 o'clock, but feel free to get there earlier.
Before, we'll be there before.
Yeah,
we need to get going.
Yeah, there's still raffle tickets available.
Absolutely, we'll be on
doing that
on the night as well.
Yeah. So
anybody that isn't attending is able to buy raffle tickets as well. They're £1 a ticket, or 12 for £10, or 24 for 20. So there's lots of amazing prizes. I've plastered all over the chats, and I'll get Josh to do one more whip round on the main chat that nobody else can message on, so it doesn't disappear, about what prizes and how to get your tickets on there as well for the night and raffle. But absolutely everybody is welcome. Like Ben mentioned, there's going to be a bit of a send-off for a couple of them that I certainly will be buying some shots for, or something that they'd prefer to drink as a thank you and a goodbye as well. So yeah, thoroughly looking forward to it. A lot of work's gone into it, and that's not to blow smoke up our own arses, but a lot of work's gone into it to make it the best we can. I think it's worth noting that it is essentially just it's a football awards evening, but there's thought behind it, there's reason behind what we've done behind it, and it's all about engaging with the community. A good opportunity, which I think works out really well, really good timings to have a beer with your new captain, or have a beer with your new teammate that you've probably not spoken to before. Start building those relationships now.
Yeah.
Just know that you're going to have to go for a nice long walk Sunday to try and work off some of those beers. But it'll be
but also chances for us all to socialise, isn't it? Because we don't do that a lot. I know we play football and we meet up on a Friday, and there's other stuff, but we don't socialise as a group very often. So it'd be quite nice just to kick back and chew the fat a bit with some people you might not have had a chat to before. So that'll be quite cool.
I will admit, though, I am hoping to do a little bit more of that as we move into the summer football Euros season.
Oh, yes.
This will be, as I've mentioned to you previously, this is the first time that I've been a part of a group of people who love football just as much as me for years, and actually watched a major tournament, and in particular in one which England might do well at. So
might.
I'm really looking forward to the chat, and hopefully we can see what we can do about booking space.
Well, one of the games is on my birthday.
Oh, double celebration.
I think the Slovenia game, the third group game, Slovenia, I think it is. It's on my birthday. Yeah, which is always a good one.
Yeah, I think there's a few venues that I'm aware of that we might be able to do. There might be a few dry venues that we might be able to do as well. I know there's some places that we'll be able to put it up on a big screen, but we won't be able to have any beer or anything. It's probably not a bad thing. But yeah, it's going to be difficult to get as many people as I think interested together in one place to watch it together, just because of how busy places are going to be. But we'll give it a bloody good go, won't we?
Do they do a fan park in Bournemouth? Do they ever do that?
That's a good question, actually. Something to look for.
They should really.
So I wonder if they might do something at Dean Court.
That's what I was thinking.
They sometimes have they always have the big screen on, like showing last game or whatever in the kind of the outside communal area. But yeah, we'll certainly look into it, and I don't mind taking this sort of thing on and hopefully finding somewhere we all can watch it. But yeah, let's hope we go deep into that competition, and something we'll touch on, I think, a little bit later in this podcast. We might as well jump into it now, actually, if we're moving on to things. So we've kind of wrapped up the awards. Please enjoy yourselves Friday night. Have a few drinks, have a few beers, whatever you need to do, and yeah, just come along and enjoy yourselves, and we'll.
I think just to
we'll certainly
reiterate,
enjoy
we do have quite a tight schedule, so we are scheduled to start. The evening starts at 8:00, and we will start the actual award ceremony at about 20 past. So please make sure you're there, because Steve's up first with his Man v Fat stuff, so it's really important that everyone's there with a drink in hand, sat down, ready to go. Otherwise, we'll end up being there till about 3:00 in the morning, probably.
Yeah. No time
Also,
to
if
have
you
a
are
beer, can you, though?
driving, they can't leave your car there overnight. You put your reg in, and they'll happily let you leave the car there overnight if you can have a couple of beers and come back and get it the next day. So just a couple of interesting information points.
Yes, love it. Right, so England squad, provisional squad has been announced. I think we are the only nation that's done like 30 players or whatever it is.
What's the ruling behind that? Can you? I mean, what is that?
I think you can do whatever size you want.
It's a training squad, yeah.
So as long as you whittle it down to 28, is it? Final squad?
26, and I think it's the night of the last friendly, whatever that. I think there's a Friday night friendly. I can't remember. I think it's Iceland. You've got whichever date the Iceland one is. It needs to be announced by 11 o'clock that night. So there's an opportunity, especially with some proper sketchy injuries within the team. Players like Luke Shaw that have managed to get his name on that bit of paper without playing much football at all this season, sadly.
Yeah.
So yeah, Southgate did mention that he is a massive wild card. And somebody mentioned Trippier got injured in Australia this morning or today, whatever time he played.
Yeah, so he came off, and it didn't seem to be any injury, but he did come off early. So there was an element of like, okay, I think that's probably Gareth Southgate having a word with Eddie Howe and be like, we haven't got any fit left backs, so you better get him off quick.
Another subject for another day, but that fixture is an absolute joke. That's happened today, and I, as much as I despise Spurs, neither team should be out there playing football now with having played that long season. But that's just, like I say, another story for another day. But
is that because of Ange? Is that because of his?
No, I don't think so. Anyway, I don't know enough about it. I just know that it's money at the end of the day, and sadly, that's how it's happened.
It's a marketing thing, isn't it? Of
course it is. It's like the American tours when they take them all over to China. It's all about money. It's Premier League. But then at the same time, you have to do it because it's to promote the league, and for it to be accessible to all the other countries in the world. They want to see the players. They want to see them live. So if they're just about to invest in a multi-million-pound TV deal, they're going to go, well, hang on a minute, we want to see some of these players live.
Yeah.
So it's a product at the end of the day.
It definitely won't be long until we see a Premier League game on American time in America, I think.
Oh, God, yeah.
Similar to how they fly their teams over here for NFL.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, with so many American clubs getting involved now with Premier League football teams or even Championship teams hoping to build them back into the Prem, there's a lot of crossover there on sports branding.
Yeah. And obviously, when it comes to majority votes, it's not going to take long until the Septics make that choice to vote all together on the same thing and and get what they want.
And that's right.
Sadly, but yeah. So in terms of the England squad, are we happy with that initial list? Do we think there's anybody missing? I know, obviously, being a United fan, is there any issue with Rashford missing out this time, Josh, for you?
No, well, no, I don't have any particular problem with Rashford not being in the squad. I was just saying that we have a wealth of attacking talent in those positions.
Definitely.
Let's be honest here. Given his form, he shouldn't be ahead of Anthony Gordon or Cole Palmer or Phil Foden or any of those other people. Obviously, Phil Foden is a given, things like that. But argument maybe why is Grealish there, that kind of thing, but not things like that. But I just overall I can't be dismayed with it. That's just how it is. I think it does. No Rashford does indicate that Watkins will go over Tony. I think it indicates that that's if he doesn't take both. Because Watkins has that a bit more of a not a Rashford quality to him, but he has that kind of pace and he's that kind of player slightly. and that's where Rashford is useful in terms of flexibility in a forward line, especially if like Harry Kane wasn't there. So yeah, I mean, overall then, lads, I just wanted to ask you quickly, and we'll get into detail maybe, but what did you guys think of the squad overall? Is there anything, you know?
I
Right.
wasn't surprised. The only one I was surprised with, and I guess there's always a few that crop up, was Adam Wharton. I was really struggling. I was like, I don't know who he is, and I'm not a Palace fan, and I haven't followed. Yeah, fair. And I'm sure he has. And I'm sure if you speak to any Palace fan, they'll go, yeah, he's been amazing. I'm really pleased to see Eze in there. I think he's absolute quality, and I think he definitely deserves his chance. Whether he'll go to the actual, I don't know. He's going to be one of those question marks. Kwanzaa as well, I think, is a good shout.
So many questions over the defenders. That's why, isn't it? I think.
Yeah. I think for me the biggest question mark is probably over our defence. I think we're struggling at left back. Luke Shaw's been injured all season. Obviously, Chilwell's not in the side. Trippier is a good shout, but is he?
I was really surprised Chilwell didn't make it because
he's been injured all season now, hasn't he?
Yeah, I know, but that's no different than Luke Shaw.
Yeah.
And I think to myself, okay, I appreciate the fact that it's another spot that you would have to take, but at least he only has cover.
But don't forget,
my only thought is he can't just rely on the 33-year-old Trippier. Surely, I just think to myself, like,
he did have an interview. When I was watching his interview, he did say that while there are certain players who are missing, they know what they can do. So it's a chance to look at other options at this moment in time, because there's nothing to say that he doesn't turn around and go, actually, we are struggling in that position. I don't really know how I'm going to cover it. Chilwell might well be in the final squad selection. He can still bring other players in. He doesn't have to pick his 28 from this squad. He could, like Hendo, could come back in. Rashford could come back in. Do you know what I mean? He knows those players, and that's what he was saying. He knows those players so well that this is an opportunity for form players. And I'm hat off to him. He has picked some players who are form players to come in and train and have a pop. And if he thinks they've got a chance, to keep them in.
Yeah,
I think the left back position is the one for the defence. So if Stones and Maguire are fit, which looks like Maguire's going to play at the weekend,
that's the pairing all day long, isn't it?
The FA Cup final, and Stones hasn't played a lot, but he was on the bench at the weekend again for City. It'd be interesting if he plays in the friendlies. So I think it just leaves the left back as the obviously Kyle Walker will be right back. The left back is the question. I think Gomez has played there a couple of times. Josh, you probably tell me if he has or not. He's played left back a couple of times for Liverpool, hasn't he?
I think he has.
Yeah.
And then you've got Konza, I think, played there in a friendly as well, didn't he, for England? He got kind of shoehorned into there because of injuries and whatever else happened. That was it. Sorry, he did, because he was in front of Southgate.
Joe Gomez. Joe Gomez is the one who might play left back. The thing I noted was that he could have put Rico Lewis or Lewis Hall or someone like that
Rico Lewis
in especially in a training squad. The one thing I would say to counter what Ben was saying about the fact that he could, in theory, pull people back in is I don't understand why you wouldn't call them up to the training squad if you didn't have an intention of putting them in the main squad. Like
it might just be hearsay, but he does still have the option. Yeah. Maybe that's just alleviating that.
My main thought was like, why have Luke Shaw when he's barely going to be fit to be even in the training squad anyway? If you just want to have a look at people. Why not?
Maybe he's giving him a chance. Maybe he's giving him a chance to get up to match fitness. Do you know what I mean? Because he has been injured.
Yeah, because from my understanding, is Luke Shaw is pretty much there. He's just not match fit.
Yeah.
Right.
So use this.
Not match fit.
Use this.
I wondered if there was under 21 games for England meant that Rico Lewis didn't play, but I can just see they've got 2 friendlies, which he will inevitably play in if he's not been picked. So he's definitely a name that jumped out to me as if you're struggling in that position, somebody that's been coached. Every time I've seen him, he looks more than comfortable, and somebody that's been coached by Pep, been around that team of winners, been around that team of quality throughout every position. I don't think he would be my wild card over Shaw, personally.
Yeah,
it's just I don't think you can expect Shaw to not have played probably about 75% of the season.
He's
to go drop into tournament football. He's not gonna if play a game every 3 days or 4 days or whatever it's going to be, it's just asking for trouble.
Yeah. Experience, though,
the
mate.
only thing
Don't
I will
forget that
say,
goes
though,
a
is,
long way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the only thing I
absolutely.
will say is Gareth has history of taking players who are injured
Mm.
through a tournament, knowing they're going to be back for the knockouts, for example.
Yeah.
So he did that with Harry Maguire two or three tournaments ago. I think Shaw will go regardless, because I think if he's not
probably
fit for the first couple, he might be fit for the rest. And
Yeah.
Gareth has clearly said that he is the number one. Like, he is just the number one. So it's like, I can see that. I did want to just quickly move on to things like the midfield.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned Adam Wharton, but I'm more thinking about the fact that I'm kind of happy that I'll explain this properly in a second, but that he's left a couple of people out who would normally have been in there in previous squads.
Yeah.
I would assume. So like Henderson, like Phillips, like,
yeah.
I actually think no Henderson or Phillips actually forces Southgate into exactly what the fans have been crying out for, and that is a use of a more of attacking midfield,
Definitely.
partnerships, because he has no other option. So it
I
is
want it to
basically
be
his most offensive midfielder
Oh.
is going to have to be Declan Rice.
It is,
And he hasn't even been playing the 6.
No,
he's been unreal in the 8. He's been so good this season in the 8. In loads of people's teams this season for playing in that position.
So I think it actually forces him into doing something that people have been crying out for.
I think he'll go with Mainu, Rice, and
Bellingham.
Jude. Yeah.
Yeah, I
kind of hope he does. I could potentially see him using Trent. Again, you see Trent's been listed as midfielder rather than defender.
Yeah,
I could see him. I could see him using Trent in there as well, just for everything that Trent brings into that midfield. I think he's got a lot
that works.
to prove still, but he's got the ability.
I think that works against the quote unquote lesser sides. I don't think it works. I don't think you're having Trent in the middle against, say, Germany or France, are you? No, just no disrespect. I just he's but yeah. So
the other name that jumps out at me that I wasn't overly impressed is Maddison. I don't know what,
just because he's not
Maddison's
played that much.
Done to, he's injured.
Maddison,
I don't think he's had the back end of his season has been awful, isn't it? Really, I think
he's not quite been at it since he came back, but he has been involved in quite a lot of Tottenham. He's one of Tottenham's most attacking players on the pitch. He's one of he's definitely one of the most influential players in that team. So people were calling out for him to be in that squad last time. So I'm quite happy to see him in there. To be fair, I think he's. I think he's going to be a big part
of him.
I think he makes the plane. Yeah, I don't think he makes the first team.
He does,
but I think he makes the plane definitely.
Who would you put there instead? Who has the kind of, because he's got a different kind of. He is like a number 10, isn't he?
Yeah.
He is a number 10.
He never starts.
He's one of the only. Yeah, but he's one of the. Yeah, no, I agree. But that's only because
he's a great option to bring in, though, isn't he?
Jude in the 10. Like, Jude plays in the 10 week in, week out for.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know. So what I'm
he plays every minute of every game.
He offers that backup as such in that unique, because it is a kind of a unique thing. You've got people like Phil Foden who can play the 10, but realistically, what's going to happen is he'll play on the wide. And as Gareth said in his latest press conference, you want Phil Foden in the middle. So what he's going to end up doing is like he did in the last friendlies, which is play it left, but he drifts. He drifts towards the middle, and that's what literally, I actually did quite like this from Southgate. He did actually say, we want Phil Foden in the middle. None of the wingers are told to stick to the wings. If he's going to, if what he did in the last friendlies is drift, that's what we want him to do.
Nice.
So,
happy days. So, that's what you want to hear, isn't it?
So exactly. So I'm like, well, he's obviously not too much of an idiot. So
mate, if he got
I don't know,
Bellingham and Foden like marauding around fair play. Jeepers.
Yeah, what a team. If I was to stick my neck out, I'm gonna go with a quite a bold statement. I think you could see Maddison or Grealish, or potentially both of them, not make the plane.
Yeah, I think Grealish is a fair shout. Yeah. I think he might not make the final cut.
I think, okay, so he's got to cut 6. Is that right? He's got 33 listed. He's got to get down to 20. Sorry, 7. He's got to get down to 26.
Ivan will go, won't they? One of those
So-
won't go.
I think he'll only take 2 out-and-out strikers because he don't need any more.
He'll-
We've got so much attacking options.
For me, he has to take Ollie Watkins out of those two. He cannot take
He
Ivan
won't.
Toney,
I don't think he will, though. Sadly,
No,
I think he picks Tony
have
because
to
of
take-
how
no, I think what
how
does
he
he bring?
plays.
Like, yeah, but
He doesn't play with Kane though. Well, it's basically the
he
Kane
plays like
replacement,
Kane,
isn't
though,
it?
doesn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
it's
So
just
it's the
like for
Kane
like.
replacement. So if Kane's not playing, the other one's going to play.
yeah,
Yeah.
but Ollie Watkins, man, what more can you do? It's
I
a bit like
agree.
we're talking
I
about Dom
completely agree.
Solanke. Like,
Yeah.
you have the most goal involvements of anyone in the league, and you just can't don't make the plane. Like, that's just ridiculous.
I think
So,
he's
yeah.
not going to win with that one. I think whoever he chooses is going to split. He's going to divide opinion on that one. I think
And
I'd
that's
probably
because
be
of the
inclined to
abundance
take
of
Watkins.
ability he's got there, isn't it?
Totally, and what a great problem to have,
So-
right?
Absolutely. So if I go through, this is what's listed as a forwards on Sky Sports. So Jude, we're saying, is going. Do we think Jared Bowen goes?
I'd like to
I
see
think he
go.
has to.
I think
I think
he
he's
does.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
He's
think he's the
raw,
only
isn't he?
person
I
who
think
can
he-
play instead of Saka on that side, isn't he?
Well,
Well,
you got
not the
Anthony
only.
Gordon as
Eze.
well.
Anthony Gordon,
Eze.
Cole Palmer.
Eze tends to play from the
Eze.
left. He plays from the left generally.
So we've
Well, when
got
Elise
Bellingham,
says that,
Jared Bowen. We reckon will go. Eze, do we think is going?
I'd love to see him go. He so
I'd love
deserves a
to.
chance.
I
Put your
don't think
Southgate
he will
head
do.
on.
No.
Oh, okay.
He'd go over Grealish for me because he's
Yeah.
played
Yeah,
more.
but
And he's
what about
totally banging in
Southgate?
form. Yeah, but sometimes you've got to take a little bit of a risk.
Well,
How
I'd
many
take
forwards does he? How many forwards does he usually take?
But they're all forwards, aren't they?
Does he take
If
9?
you think about
Does
it.
he take 8 or 9?
Well, look, he's going to take Kane and one other striker out of Watkins and Tony. He's definitely going to take one of them. So that's 2 gone.
Well, if you include Jude Bellingham, there's 12 listed
He's
forwards.
got 12. Yeah,
So-
he got it.
So does he take 8?
So he's going to
No?
take Saka. He's going to take Saka, Foden,
Saka, Kane, Foden, Bellingham,
Bellingham.
Cole Palmer
I think
has to go.
Bellingham.
I think.
By the way,
Palmer
I'm
has to
thinking
go.
Bellingham's actually going to be listed as a midfielder. I don't think in the final squad. I don't think he'll be listed.
He
as a
is.
forward
He
in
is.
the final squad.
He is listed as a midfielder now. Yeah, in the England.
Sky Sports
On the
wants him
England,
forward,
on the
yeah.
England website, it's listed as a.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
So he'll play the 8 rather than 10.
Bowen, okay, Foden, Kane,
Yeah.
Palmer, Saka. We know, for example.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, who else am I thinking? I was missing someone really obvious there.
Gordon.
Gordon, I think Gordon's gone. I think so. He's going. I think he's going. I think he's nailed.
So the question marks you've got then are Eze, Bowen, Grealish, Madison.
And this is
I
what
think
I'm
Madison
saying.
goes.
This is why I
Imagine
think
Madison
Grealish and
goes.
Madison miss out.
I think Watkins goes.
Yeah.
I think Tony, Grealish, Eze miss out of that. I think.
Yeah, I
Tony,
think
Grealish,
the
Eze.
3 will be Eze, Grealish, and Madison because of Palmer's, and and Ollie Watkins. I think that gives him
Yeah,
enough.
if I'm going to have to give a 4th person, then that probably would be Madison. Anyway,
You
that's
could
the
spend
forwards.
all day on it, but that's
You
yeah, that's
could.
yeah.
You could.
and I think the midfield. If you look at the midfield, it actually looks relatively thin. I think Conor Gallagher is his new Mason Mount. I think he loves them to bits, and I think credit where credit's due. Conor Gallagher will give you that 100% effort when he's that Duracell bunny in that middle of the pitch that will come on and calm a
He does the
game
job,
down
doesn't he?
or
Yeah.
get stuck in
Yeah.
if he needs to. I think he's got that ability.
Yeah.
I even think
obviously-
sadly he's more likely to start over Mainu. If I was putting my Southgate head on again,
He probably
I
would.
probably
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
he'll pick him over.
I
Mainu.
have seen some projected 11s, and they basically all contain Gallagher rather than Mainu. I think. Well, so Jude, Gallagher, Mainu, Rice. It's amazing to say Mainu's a stick on, but he is considering how
Well, he
thin
played
that
himself into the
midfield is.
team, didn't he?
Yeah.
Last time out. So.
They're stick-ons. Trent's going, but I just don't know if he's listed as a midfielder or not. Curtis Jones, I think, will miss out. Adam Morton will miss out.
Yeah.
They're kind of the two, not say obvious ones, quote unquote obvious ones, I think. For that, I mean, just because he's left Phillips and Henderson and things like that out, it's like, well, you've got no options. Then you've
Think
got
Branthwaite goes? Think Branthwaite goes?
Yeah, I hope
Probably.
he does.
I think the
I
fact
really
that
hope he does.
Dunk doesn't go. Dunk's been awful. I can't believe Dunk made this group. To be fair, but again, I think because
I don't
that
know,
centre
man.
back,
I don't know.
his
I
end
think
of
if he was
season has
losing,
been awful,
okay,
and he had
so
a
the
real
list,
shocker the last time out for England, didn't he?
yeah,
Well, he
the
made
list
one
is,
mistake.
yeah, I mean, yeah. What's the list? Branthwaite, Dunk, Gomez, Gahey, Konsa, Maguire, Quansah, Shaw, Jones, Trippier, and Walker. So that's the current list. I think Dunk, Quansah, and it's one of Joe Gomez, Mark Gahey, or Esri Konsa, who won't go. I just don't know which. Is
Yeah,
my
it's
thought
tough,
on
isn't
that
it?
one. I think
Very
Branthwaite's
tough.
going.
Yeah, I think Branthwaite goes.
Yeah,
Mine
probably.
would be Branthwaite, Gomez, Maguire,
I think Gahey has
Shaw,
to go.
Stones, Trippier, and Walker. Mark Gay as well. Sorry, yeah. And that's
Yeah, he's been
because
pretty.
of
He's been
the
pretty
question
immense, hasn't
marks over Stones and Maguire, sadly.
he? Yeah.
And then the goalkeeping situation: Pickford, Henderson, and Ramsdale will go. Trafford is there for experience, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why he needs 3 goalkeepers, but especially if he feels like he's going to struggle to fit something in. Like,
panic
would
though,
he
don't they,
ever?
with that?
The only thing I have concern about this is he's more likely to take 3 goalkeepers than he is 3 forwards. Like,
Yeah.
Tony, Watkins, and Kane, than he is to do the other way around, which is what I think he probably should do. I understand there's
All
the
the
whole thing
sod
about
says though,
having
you'd
3
only take
keepers,
2
but
keepers and you injure your main keeper and your second keeper has
you're
a problem,
panicking,
then
aren't
you're
you?
in real
Yeah.
trouble.
yeah, I understand that, but
Especially
that's
as you
all
look at our group.
hypotheticals.
You look at our group, right? Our group is going to be really tough because they're all going to park the bus. Every single one of them. They're going to play 10 men behind the ball. They're going to be really terrible games.
It'll be 1-0, isn't it?
It's going to be awful, the group stuff. I think this is going to be really key for us to get out of that group because they'll be playing for a draw all day long and then they'll go and batter each other and we could quite easily end up accidentally being in 3rd place.
Yeah.
If we're not careful.
Yeah.
Or me, the naysayer. I don't think we will. I think we're qualified. but I can see how they're going to set up. They will really, really frustrate and they're going to have to be really, really patient. I fully expect us to go through. I'm fully expecting us to win the tournament, to be honest. I'm laying my stake on the table and saying now I think we'll win. I think it's our time.
Who were our last friendlies against?
Iceland and
Belgium.
Someone did. Brazil.
Oh no, the last one. Sorry,
Belgium and Brazil.
Yeah, that's who we played, and then the one
we shouldn't have lost.
before
We shouldn't have lost
Iceland
that Belgium game.
Somebody else.
The Brazil game. They got 1 goal on the break.
I just can't remember. We dominated the ball, didn't we?
Yeah.
Both.
We had one goal
Absolutely
on the break.
Dominated the ball. Yeah. And I was because all I can remember in my head is Mainu, Bellingham, Rice, and Foden basically as a box, and just
you see Bellingham's
Lukaku performance. He played really well, didn't he?
Yeah. I think Bellingham's going to get kicked a lot.
Yeah. That proved already, didn't it?
Yeah.
I'll remember us discussing a few weeks ago about what our seemingly reliance on Bellingham was in those games, which was
totally.
Yeah, so it needs to get around.
Very odd.
Anyway, I get what you're saying. So
it'll be interesting.
It's going to be a tough one, but I think the difference in going in now is I have much more confidence that we are going to dominate games.
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah, definitely.
And that even against the big teams, I think we'll dominate games. I can see us. The only team I can see us not doing that against is France, and that's only because I think they're just too deadly for us to consider being too. If that makes sense, knowing Southgate.
Yeah, but we've played them recently, haven't we? And we know what they're about, and we know they can be quite arrogant as well. So I think he's just got to play them at their own game, really.
Yeah. I think the only, like Ben says, we have to kind of understand, and England fans need to understand and set their own expectations that you are going to be in games where you're going to go, fuck me, this is boring.
Oh, God, yeah. Those first group games are going to be terrible. Yeah.
It's going to be back and forth trying to pick holes, and that's where a player like, I think, Trent helps with his passing range and ability to find those little corners, those little pockets that players like Bellingham and Foden operate the best in, and Cole Palmer and Saka operate so well in. You need that quarterback in that position, and that's probably one of my biggest criticisms of Rice, and I must admit they are tiny, is that his kind of forward passes into those positions, so he often just gives it to Odegaard, and Odegaard works his magic. I don't think he is that creator in that Arsenal team that England could potentially need. But we'll see. It is exciting. I do look forward to it. I'm going to get myself a wall chart and fill it out with the kids each morning. That's always good fun. Get them engaged. I love that.
I get my coins out of the attic.
See if everybody wants them again.
I'll have to check on Connor and his Panini cards.
He's collected already.
Yeah,
is he?
See if he's got a collection going.
I'll get my selection of retro England shirts out.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they're all good.
There's, 2 o'clock.
8, 5, and 8, isn't it? Something.
Yeah, 2, 5, and 8. Yeah. So the days that there's 3 games on, it's not a lot of work's going to be done at 2 o'clock. If anybody sat in front of a laptop, even if it's Slovenia against Serbia, for instance, we'll be watching that with a keen eye for obvious reasons. But it should be interesting. I love a tournament, and I just want it to speed up and get to it now. It's the build. I hate the friendlies. I hate the Nations League. I hate all of that shit. Let's get stuck in a tournament of football. It's always good fun. It's mad how quickly that's gone round as well. I remember Kane blazing that penalty over against France like it was yesterday, and that's 2 years ago now, isn't it?
I still can't.
It was over Christmas, wasn't it?
Yeah. I still find it kind of just insane that a guy who's got such an amazing penalty record is like that. I would say, if you had anyone you wanted to take the penalty in the world at that time,
definitely.
It's probably Harry Kane.
It proves that he will forever be Spursy.
No.
He just won the Golden Boot in the Bundesliga.
Yeah, you could have won that.
Scored 43 and 45.
Only messing. I don't mind him now. He's not at Spurs, but he did. That was a Spursy moment, blazing that penalty.
Yeah.
You just needed him to not be Spurs for 2 seconds, and unfortunately he was.
That's harsh.
Not to be like too pluggy, but I watch quite a bit of like stick to football stuff with Gary Neville, on his own laptop.
Anyway, love that. Yeah.
And they had one today. I'm not sure you saw it, but they did chat England briefly, and Jamie Carragher actually made a good point. He said the best player in Germany is probably Harry Kane at the moment.
Yeah.
The best player in Spain is Jude Bellingham.
Yeah.
The best player in England is Phil Foden.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I looked at if you look at the top goal scorers in the Premier League and top assists, it's England,
they're all English,
isn't it?
Yeah. Apart from Mbappe, I think that's the only one who's in there, isn't it? The rest are all English.
Yeah, it's a very good point.
Mad.
It's exciting.
And Dom Solanke still doesn't get near the squad.
Poor old Dom. He just I think he needs to play for a bigger. Saying that Tony's there and he plays for Brentford.
And then you got
sorry.
For Palace in there as well.
I'll get a bad response. Sorry, Bournemouth lads. Sorry, I didn't mean that at all. But it's true. To get his chance, I think he probably does. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I was going to say. I think if he was at Spurs, for example, and I don't know if that's what you just said, Jack, but I think if he was something like that, he'd score quite a few.
Yeah, it certainly has an impact on it. Awesome.
Awesome sauce. That's a brief dive into our England conversation. Love an England chat.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a nice brief, half an hour brief.
We'll have a full episode. Well, mate, when we get into the Euros, we'll be England all day long, right?
I think we'll do is we'll do a full episode when that final squad is announced, and we have a little listen back to these and see where our predictions went in terms of that pick team, and that'll be interesting to recover for sure.
Yeah.
Right. Nice.
Josh, you got any fancy football? Nice little roundup and end of season.
End of the season.
I was going to say, did you want to jump into that, or did you want to keep briefly touch on anything else before we
obviously
do that?
Poch going seemed a bit of a surprise for quite a few people.
Just manager merry-go-round. I was just going to touch on it quickly. Obviously, Poch leaving Spurs, Chelsea, which I thought was really surprising, to be honest. De Zerbi gone. Obviously, we know Moyes left West Ham.
Moyes is gone.
It seems to be, it's a weird
Ten
time.
Hanging on by his fingernails.
Yeah, I mean, he will be now. He really will be now. I mean, I think I remember saying a few weeks ago that I'd keep Ten Hag because there weren't any other real options. But now you've got Tuchel, Jose, and not saying you should have Jose, Poch, De Zerbi, David Moyes is even available. People like this, and it's just like there's plenty of people now, and I would argue okay, out of that list of people, Poch would be my number one if I was going to choose one, but he
I just
wasn't
don't know
available
what
until 2 days ago.
Chelsea are doing. What are they doing?
I know. I
I
don't
mean, it's took
understand.
him like all season, well, not all season, but like 2/3 of the season, it's took him to get that team playing football, and now they're playing really good football,
They've
and
been
then they part
destroying
ways.
teams as
I know,
well for the last
totally.
few
Not
games.
just not just beating people, like stuffing people.
Yeah.
I think it's absolutely bizarre.
I heard an interview with Rio Ferdinand a couple of weeks back, and he said everything he's hearing about Poch is really negative in terms of how he's feeling at the club. And
Really?
Yeah.
it was almost it's almost as if he was kind of going, I know something, but I can't say anything. He's like, he was like, what I'm hearing is this. And each time, it almost became Poch's style in interviews to kind of be like, let's wait and see what happens next season. Let's see what's next season. And I think everybody just accepted that was him understanding that he is with some absolute lunatics running that club, and you never know what tomorrow holds.
Yeah.
And I think there's also a big thing behind it that I think Chalobah and Gallagher are going to be sold pretty promptly, so basically as soon as they can, to help fend off the impending issues that they're likely to have with financial fair play.
Right.
And I think he's probably in a position that he's realizing he can see the wood through the trees. He can see the problems coming.
Right. Fair.
So it seems I heard a couple of interviews, especially after hearing Ferdinand say that. I definitely sat up and listened to a couple of them and kind of thought, reading between the lines, he doesn't seem happy. He should be happy because he's turned them around pretty quickly, and they started to become a bit of a force. I think they were relatively lucky that they didn't draw the game at the weekend with Bournemouth, because I think Bournemouth, Slanky certainly had a chance at the end to level it. That being said, they managed to get themselves out of the abyss into a European spot, which definitely would have helped with a little bit of financial support that they need at this time.
They literally finished sixth out of all the struggles they had. They did such a good end to the season. They finished sixth, and it's like, that's not bad at all, you know.
No.
So
I think the other thing on it very quickly as well is Man United. Obviously, the conversation around Man United. I think if they're gonna, like you say, Josh, it may very well, Poch now being available is going to spark them to make a decision.
Yeah, I think they were not resigned, but I think they realised that making a managerial change has not historically been the thing that's worked, and that they need to put some foundations in place. And while they're still trying to sort out the top of the, from the top down, they need stability elsewhere. And so that would be the manager.
Yeah.
And players be damned, basically. They need to go. Half of them, well, more than half of them probably need to go. And it's, but I think if they get a chance and they see someone they really like hypothetically, someone like a Poch, and that they would have, now I think they have to do it now. Like, I don't think they can. They can't.
The other side of it, from my opinion, is they're now, if they were considering it, now Chelsea have got rid. They effectively appreciate that if Poch becomes available and will take the United job, if he doesn't, they're fishing in the same pool if they are going to look at a new manager. And you're competing against somebody that will throw anything at a manager, and there will be a manager that will sign his soul over to the devil and get paid ridiculous amount of money to Chelsea and know that he might not last 6 months. He could get to Christmas and it will be a change around again. And I think he still would pick Chelsea over United at this point, just because of the amount of, I think United have more rebuilding to do than Chelsea. I think Chelsea are almost there. They've got a good crop of players. They need time to embed, and the summer is probably the best opportunity for them to do it, a good pre-season and get them going. Somebody like De Zerbi would be a great manager for Chelsea, I think. But let's see. It's certainly interesting times. I haven't even looked at the odds for who's next in each of them, and I'm sure Ten Hag is still up there as favourites to be the next Premier League manager sacked as well. So
I'd imagine so.
Watch this space.
They've got an FA Cup final to play. Imagine if they beat City. Just imagine.
I kind of hope they do.
Yeah, I hope they do, obviously. I think kind of people, I know people hate Man United, but let's be honest, no one going into that game believes Man United are going to win. So I think some people will be pretty happy if Man United win it, because at least their Man City haven't won it for a change.
Yeah.
Mainly. Obviously,
How times have changed.
Yeah, man.
fans like me. So.
Yeah.
Well.
Awesome.
Anyway.
We didn't touch on how you're feeling about losing the Premier League, Jack.
Well,
losing out. Losing out.
I was going to say we never had it to lose. I think my predictions at the beginning of the season were that we would not win it, and I think I was given a little bit of hope. If you look at what we've done in the turn of the year, I think we drew to City and we lost to Villa. An incredible run of results, an incredible effort, but just fallen short. And this proves that you have to be perfect to beat them, or near perfect to beat City to it. And City, I've got to admit, for the majority of the season, didn't really click out of second gear. No. I think they never really, until there was some good results at the end, but they just rolled people over. And what the other flip side of it, I saw something, and it's certainly rose-tinted glasses to it, is that every team seemed to accept that they would lose to City.
Yeah.
But would give Arsenal a fucking good game. And it was almost like we're not the enemy, they're the fucking enemy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it was
they've already written them games off. They look at the schedule, don't they? Write them games off. So we ain't going to get any points there. So let's look at the next one. Oh, okay, Arsenal. Exactly. Yeah, we might get something there.
Yeah, totally. Exactly. And I think that's a sad indictment of the league, that their strength and power is their whinge about losing Haaland and De Bruyne for as long as they did. Did you actually notice? No, you actually really, on the scale of things, you did not notice that they were missing. No. Alvarez come in and was unreal.
Yeah.
Foden stepped up. Foden got his chance to finally step up and be the player that we all knew he could be. And no other team has the strength. Their second team, especially Ortega, the goalkeeper, is that his name? I saw that Edison might be moving on this summer. Look at the strength of their second goalkeeper. We've got a second goalkeeper that's shitting a brick every time he sees a ball in the air now because of being dropped and whatever happens.
Yeah.
The difference is huge, and it's probably as much as it might sound like sour grapes. It's not good for the league that they're this dominant, and they might be, inverted commas, getting the best out of other teams that are trying to push them for it. But it's not. You want it more competitive than it is, and if they haven't clicked into second gear and they can still cruise to a relatively comfortable, in my opinion, they never looked like they weren't going to win the league. It's just difficult to accept. And I must admit, I was taking a piss out of Liverpool when Klopp announced that he was leaving, and he's won one Premier League in that time. I get to last season, we threw it away. I admit that. This season, I know exactly how those Liverpool fans feel, that you put your all into it. You've had an unreal season and you still can't beat City to it.
Yeah.
And you can see why he only won one league in that time. If it wasn't for City, they would have won it every season, probably bar last season, this season where Arsenal would have had it. It's got to be the best. Oh, sorry, sadly, it's the best of the rest at the moment, isn't it?
But you must feel positive though around the way that you come. I mean, it was pretty close, mate. I mean, it's the closest it's been for a while, and I think Arsenal played some brilliant football this season. So I think it's a positive.
I have loved it. Yeah, I am super positive about it. I think to be over, I'm not celebrating. I'm not over positive about it, because I don't believe unless you've won it, you're the first loser if you're second. That's just my opinion on it.
You ain't first to last.
Exactly, but and there's only 3 domestic trophies available anyway, and they're going to tie up 2 of them, in most likely tie up 2 of them. So you got to accept that that's how it is. I think I'm really positive. I think seeing players like Timber come back, I was gutted that he didn't play, and he done his ACL first game of the season and managed to come back for the last game of the season. That just gives you how bad that must have been for them.
Yeah.
Rice has been phenomenal. Odegaard had blips during the season, but on the whole, just insane. But the most exciting thing about it is the age of the manager and the age of the players.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, well, you'll
I
be
think
there
there's
for
so
years to
much to
come.
be
Yes,
positive
and I think
about.
that's
I
what,
think
yeah.
if we're in the conversation now for the next 5 years,
Yeah.
that's really good. It's not enough for me, but it's really good.
Yeah.
We've just got to
I'd be
start turning
positive.
it into some stable. I'd love to get another FA Cup. I'd love to win the Champions League and obviously the golden nugget, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow for me is the Premier League, the bread and butter. But Champions League and anything else
Yeah.
would certainly be amazing too. But let's see. I think
Stay hopeful, mate. Stay
once the
hopeful.
dust is settled, I'm sure. Once the dust is settled, I'm sure I look back and go, fair play, we were brilliant. And I do in part. And I go through moments where I go, like I said, since January we've only lost one game, and it was a mad game against Villa, and drew to City. We beat. We're the first team in Premier League history to have beaten Klopp. To not have lost to Klopp or Pep Guardiola in one season.
Wow.
Which is another thing. And Ryan will go, put that in your trophy cabinet then. That's not what it's about. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying, okay, we get a trophy for that. But it's just those small marginal improvements that we're making, that we're now starting to turn that corner. And I think we're now, what's the next step? Is Arteta the right person for that next step? I think he is, but is he?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's where you have to be, and you have to be perfect to beat Pep. And I think until he pisses off, not many people will take the Premier League off him, sadly.
Yeah. Well, one can hope.
It's a bit my Arsenal rant, sorry, but I think.
Sorry, I set that one up for you, but I
it's okay,
I wanted
mate.
to hear your point.
It's a bit. It's my honest opinion on it, and it's. I'm not. Like I say, it'll probably take a couple of weeks for me to look back and go, what a ride, what an enjoyable season. But at the moment, it's sad and it's gutting. And I'm glad that the players have it that way and the manager has it that way, because it shows it means more to them than just coming second. And I take the piss out of Postecoglou all the time, but I love his mindset that he doesn't care about fourth, he don't care about third, he don't care about second. It's that coming first or it's nothing.
Yeah.
And that's super important. And if you've got enough people rowing in the same direction in your club, in your team, in your circle, thinking that, then it will happen. It will manifest itself and it will happen.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, sorry, but yeah, that's my point on that.
It's all right.
Let's
give your end of season roundup. Poor old Jack. I think Josh, you could probably just play a little bit of violin concerto over the back of that for Jack.
Yeah, it could be worse. You could be Spurs.
Could be worse. Could be Rangers, mate.
Yeah, right.
Just be thankful.
Yeah, Super Steve Cook working your wonders, mate.
Yeah.
Right, let's do some
Go on.
FPL
End of the fantasy league. Come on, then.
Well, just to wrap it up, I mean, I was going to say end of season, isn't it? Obviously. Quickly, how did you do, Ben? Firstly, I'll start with you.
Well, we have two of our Man Fantasy Football leagues, don't we? So we've got the one that I set up, which is the free one, which anyone's free to enter, and then we've got the pay to enter one, which some would say is probably the official one. So let's go with the official one, which was the paid league. So who won that one, Josh?
I did.
Josh, you won it. Josh, you won it. Only just though, mate. In all fairness, you fought it out with Steve all the way to the end. And he just dropped off probably because he played a couple of chips maybe a bit early, I would imagine. But he had a stonking season coming second. But yes, you won it, mate. 2,509 points total. So where did that put you in the percentages? UK percentage or the world?
God.
How'd you get on?
I've got to find out now. I can't believe I'm not
Sorry,
prepared.
mate.
No, I think I think it was somewhere in the region of 60,000 or something.
Fair
like
play,
that.
mate.
So,
Fair play. Well, you won both the leagues, mate. To be honest, you won both our leagues. So in the main league, so they said Steve came second, Mark Simpson came third, very closely third, only 6 points behind. Then there was a bit of a jump of 30 points to Johnny, who came in fourth, and then my humble self managed to creep up to fifth by the end. And I won't go through the rest of them because they're not on the pod. But the other one, my one, I came third, I think. Came third, yeah. So you came top, Mark came second, I came third, basically because Johnny and Steve aren't in that one. But I did win the cup.
Well, there you go.
I did win the Man v Fantasy League cup. So I'm happy with that.
You're going.
I
Yeah.
beat Mark by 1 point on the last game of the season on the cup final.
Not gonna lie, I completely forgot about that.
Did you win it?
Forgot
Did you
about
win
the
the other
cup.
one?
I
the other
don't
one?
know.
Hang on, I won't be able to see who won because I went out to you, funnily enough. Oh, no, hang on, the final. Oh, no, hang on, wrong league. Let me have a look. Where is it? Maybe there it is. I can't see the final because I went out in week 34 to you. So only the winners will be able to see that, I think. Oh, no, hang on. I can get to game week 38. No, can't see it. Can't see it because I won in it. So whoever won that will have to pipe up. But quite a good season in the end. I got a bit annoyed on the last game of the season because I made the wrong transfer. I meant to transfer Mateta in and I didn't. I transferred Gusto in instead. He ended up getting 0 and Mateta scored 20. So that's a bit annoying because I would have got 4th if I'd have done that. But hey ho, that's the way the cookie crumbles, right?
Indeed, yeah. I felt quite fortunate to get up there, but at the same time, I feel like it's almost my duty to do so. I can't be on a pod suggesting things.
I
to
agree
people if I don't
wholeheartedly.
win.
I'd have been very disappointed if you hadn't.
Yeah,
But yeah,
but
go on.
I to be honest, I look at overall rank more than I do other things. But I 63,000 is not too bad. I'm happy with that. So.
Of course,
overall,
these
winning
pathetic
the
mini
mini
leagues, they mean nothing, do they?
No, you guys just reminded me there was money in one of them. I forgot.
Absolutely, it's going to pay for your
I'll
awards
be
night, buddy.
Collecting on
Yeah,
my
right.
moolah at some point.
Yeah, Mark, where's his money? Send the heavies round.
Yeah, got to bring it Saturday night, mate. It's paying for our beers.
Love it.
Anyway,
Well
yeah.
done, boys.
So, cheers. How about you, Jack? You all right?
Shite, mate. I did my standard. I'm really enjoying this. I'm doing well. Let's play some chips. And I get to the point where I was like, you've got to, when you're chasing, you feel like you've got to play something different to everybody else.
Yeah.
And you ends up going Pete Tom, because not often does it go the other way that you think it's going to do. I ended up 15th, so near mid-table in the overall. So
that's honourable, mate.
It's better than last season, and I finished above a few people that I don't think had played for about 5-6 weeks anyway. So
that's the problem. The bottom half of the table tends
up
to suggest there's people who've just basically given up.
Yeah, my assumption is, unless Adam White had an awful unlucky week, he got 26 points. I got 62 points, and I was only 2 points off catching him as well. Frustratingly, he had 0 on the benches and minuses on the pitch and all sorts. So I think there's a chance he might not have bothered for a little while as well. So I'll be ready and raring to go again for at least until next Christmas, and probably give up again and start the process again. But it's all good fun. I like
I like Euros fantasy.
Yeah, Euros fantasy. We'll get one of them up and going.
Yeah, sweepstake as well, all sorts. Yeah, I could do with a few more interest in sweepstake, because we're at that kind of middle point that some people are going to be disappointed.
Plenty of time.
I think a few people might be interested in a double anyway. If fiver a team, some people might just go.
As long as I don't get really crap teams. I always get really crap teams, always.
That's right. I'll let you pick it out, mate, so you can only blame yourself.
Thanks.
I'm not taking any blame for anything. Same as the raffle at the weekend. I'm not picking a single name
No.
out of that hat.
Christ, no. We're not allowed to.
Blame.
We're not allowed to take them out.
Which absolutely means if I pull that TV out, I'm having it as well. Fair. It's all fair in love and war. I don't think my wife will let me go home if I don't say I'm having it, but we'll see. Right, boys, it's been emotional. Thank you so much, everybody's efforts for this season.
Brilliant.
Comes to a abrupt finish and a fresh start straight off the bat next week. So good luck, everybody involved.
Yeah, so next week we'll be talking about the winners of this season and the losers. And the biggest losers, which is what it's all about, really. But it'll be interesting to see how this season pans out, and then we'll be straight into the new one. So happy days, and hopefully we'll be regaling of much merriment past on Saturday evening.
Yes, absolutely. We'll raise a glass for everybody that's taken the time to listen to us and enjoy us babbling on about the shit that we talk. So it's great to have you listening, and everybody have a good one.
Happy days. Cheers, boys.
Cheers, boys.
See you Friday.
Sarah.